Okay, so thank you for joining. Started the streaming. I can see that there are few people. Nobody is there yet. I'm not sure if the streaming started. Let me go back to where it should be. I'm not seeing. Oh, there are two of you there. Very good. Okay, give me just a second to make sure I'm set up. So we'll go there. I have to see the streaming myself so I can see what's coming on the screen. So I want to get it on the other window, and now it's coming there, and I can see. Just reduce my resolution. Good. Okay, so thank you for joining. As we said, we will go for a complete example of data analytics using Python and using the library Pandas. Those people who are following us for some time now, they know this, and our students, they know the steps, but doing it few more times, get the concept clear. Basically, we're looking at a large data, and I didn't decide what data I want to do, but what I did, I went to this website. It's in the United States, catalog.data.gov, which government data. So you can just say data.gov, and you will be able to get this website. So from this website, now I want to find which data I want to use. And there are so many open data. One of it which related to health. We didn't do any example about health. We did some examples about sales and some of academic things, like looking at program learning outcome and course learning outcome. Let's today look at something related to health data, and one of it here is leading causes of death in the United States. And as you can see, there are so many different format of the file. The one I will look for is the one that has CSV. So I'm going to CSV file, click on that one. I will start downloading the file, and then we can work with it. The file is downloaded and it is here. So I have the file with me here. Then now I need to start working with that file. Before I do that, let me just do one thing. I need to go to on the other computer. You're not seeing that yet, but I'll go to the other computer, and I need to make sure that I am watching the right thing. So let's go there and look at. Just give me a second. Usually the start takes some time. If you don't see the screen clear and nothing is coming on the screen, you can ask me questions. As I said, there are different ways to ask the questions. One of it is on YouTube. The other one, you go to menti.com, and you can ask the question in menti.com. It's up to you. You decide where to do. And if you want to ask the questions on WhatsApp, I think my student, they know the WhatsApp address as well. So here it is. I'm just looking at the other page before I just start. Okay, very good. So it's all working fine. I think you can see me on the streaming, and I looked at how the streaming look like. It seems to be looking fine. Okay, so back now. We will do data analytics using Python and Pandas, and we're looking at the file here, which I have no clue what data in that file, but it has the data according to this one from 1999 about the leading causes of death in the United States. So we look at that data and analyze it, find what are the highest causes of death in the United States, and maybe look at the state, which state has more. We don't know, we'll see the data. So basically what I did, I downloaded the file by clicking on CSV. So this is a comma separated file, and the file downloaded on my computer. You cannot see it, but it's downloaded on my computer, and by looking at it, here is the file. Let's open it in Pandas. So what we need to do now, we need to go to our programming environment, which we use, and we will be using Python. So we'll go into the website here, and URL, and I write Azure Notebook. That will come. That's the package we're using, or the development environment that we're going to use, which a Python setup using a technology called Jupyter. And I saw some students saying Jupyter is more difficult than the Ripple that we use, and some of them saying, oh, Jupyter is great. I will be very happy to have this on my CV, that I use Jupyter and things like that. So there are mixed feeling about Jupyter, but in my opinion, Jupyter is very easy to use and well structured, but you can get into some problems if you do not understand certain things in Jupyter. So we'll go today and we'll make some mistakes, and you will find those errors that we can do. But Jupyter is more optimized because it breaks the code into smaller cells, and we'll see that one. Now I'm there, I need to sign in. For you, I think if you are first time looking at Jupyter, then you need to create use another account. By the way, I managed to fix the mouse, and I hope you can see my mouse on the screen now. Before you had an issue with the mouse in the previous session. So I'm already there, so I'll just log in my Jupyter account or my Azure account, and I am there. There are a number of libraries I have. Libraries are folders where my code is stored, code and data as well. So I'm going to that libraries, and the one we're using for some time called the one case studies. By the way, I didn't see that many people cloned case studies, but there are only 16 people clone these case studies. And if you go to this file, you will find all the source code that we used in the past for the case studies, for the live streaming. You will find also the data files. This is Excel file, another Excel file, and some other information. And basically you need this URL to be able to do this. I'll copy this one. I did copy it in the previous videos. So in the YouTube, you will go to the section where you have the description of the video. You will find the link is there. You click on it, it takes you here. Once it takes you here, you need to click on clone, so you create your own copy of everything in this folder, so you can play with it and do some experiment without having cloning this one. You have to write everything from scratch. It's good for you, but you will not be able to do it in a short time. It will just waste some of your time. But now you have it there, you can look at it, then start a new file, your own file, and do everything. Now this way you can do that. So cloning is the one you need, and the address is in the previous video, which is the same one, and also in this video I can add it at the end of the video. But if you want to look at it, it's a very simple address: notebooks.azure.com/udabi, that's my family name, udabi, /libraries/case studies. And if you put this in the URL, you will get the folder that you need to do. Yeah, I'll make it maybe bigger so you can see it clearly on the screen. While you do that, I just talk to you about what we will do. So we'll basically now do a few steps. One is we'll create a Python program, an empty one, Then we'll upload the file which we downloaded from the website, and then we will start writing code to read the file. Once we see the file, understand the structure of the file, we look at the data frame, which is made of columns and rows. Looking at that data frame will come with some ideas what analysis we need to do on that file. Okay, so now we all have seen this. So let me go back and maybe just a little bit increase this so you can have a better view of the code. Now I'm going to create a new Python. Click on the plus here, and this plus, now I can come here and call it anything. Yeah, cause of death USA. Okay, I need to select the version that I'm going to use. Which version of Python I will use? I will use 3.6. That's the one we used, and that's the one we created note for. All our notes are written in Python 3.6. So it's better you just stick to that one so you don't get any of the errors you'll have. Now that file created, looking at questions on Minty.com, I see no questions. Okay, anyway, so now we are here. This is the file which we just created. We click on it, it will open in Jupyter notebook. I'll take you through this Jupyter notebook as soon as it comes on the screen, and I think it's loading. It takes you few seconds hopefully to load, and it's loaded now. Just again increase the size so you can see. So basically Jupyter is made of cells. This is one cell. I can add more cells, and each cell can contain as much as you want of code that you will use. Now we need to upload first our file. So we'll go here into data, on data, click there. I will click upload. Now I'm getting into my folders. You don't see it because I'm not sharing the whole folder I have, but I am just looking at the file that I downloaded. Where is the file? Just here is the file. Just while you do that, let me cancel this and let me rename that file. Basically on this code, I think you can see my, that's very good. So here is the file, which I will rename it to a short name because it has a very long name. I'm just renaming it to a short one. That's the name, and I'm putting it on my desktop so I can easily later upload. Okay, going back now, the steps. Go to data, go to upload. Okay, and now looking for the file. It's on the desktop, and here is the file, nchs.csv. So this is the file I'm looking for, and now I'll click on open. I get this message now came on the screen, which very important message, because if you don't follow that message, you will your file will go somewhere else. So what we need to do, we need to click here and select library. I repeated this many times in every video, but it's very important because that's where the file will store it. If you don't store it in library, it will be somewhere else in the root, and you will not be able to deal with it if you don't know how to go to the root. You will need some Linux and operating system command. You don't need that. Just copy it into library and click start uploading. Now the file being uploaded, and we can see it's done. So where is that file? If I go back to the tab here, this tab, and click refresh, you will see that in few seconds it comes that nch, this is the file that I'm looking for. Okay, So I need to copy this file and go, let me go to my code, and now I'll start coding. So the first thing you need to do in Pandas, in Python, you need to connect to a library called Pandas. Pandas is a library that make data analytics easy. It just simplify many of the processes that takes long time to create, and you will see how it works. So I need to connect to it. So the command is import pandas as pd. Now I'm calling a library or importing a library called pandas, and this is the spelling. If you put p uppercase, it will not work. If you put anything else, it will not work, and you will get some errors. I'll show you what error you will get if you put anything that does not match your library. Now this is the line and it's wrong. Yeah, if you click on run, you will get this error. No module name pandas, means this one, the spelling is wrong. You're looking for something that does not exist, because you went with uppercase p. If you go lowercase p, it will be fine. So now it's connected to pandas and created an object of pandas called pd. Now pd will start giving order to pd, say read a file, do something like that. So now we need to read the data, and when we read anything, we need to store it somewhere. Okay, so let's have a variable called data. Okay, this is where the data will be stored. So data is our variable. Who will read the data for us? PD. PD is the one that represents pandas and does everything on behalf of pandas. Yeah, so PD read underscore CSV. Last time we did read Excel. Yeah, remember? Because the file was Excel, but now it is CSV. Okay, then what is the file name? This is the file name. Now you need to write it exactly as it is. It's all uppercase here. Now have to be all uppercase and CSV lowercase. Otherwise, it will not recognize. It will say to you, there is no file with this name. Yeah. So now let's run this one. The different way to run a cell. Yeah. One is you hit run. The other thing, on your keyboard, you press on Control Enter. You press Control with one finger and hit Enter with the other finger. Now it did read the file, and I can see there is a number here, 3. 3 means this cell was executed 3 times. If I run it one more, that number will become 4. It gives me indication how many times I did call that cell. Now I have all the data now in a variable called data. How I can find out how many data in that variable? How big is that data? I can use data dot shape. If you try this one, this will give you how many rows in your data and how many columns. Means how big is your data. So there are 15,028 records in that data, and there are 6 columns. So that's the shape of your data. How many rows, how many columns. Now data, what we call it, is data frame. Data frame made of, like a table, made of rows and columns. Let's see the top 5. So data dot head. This will give us the first 5 columns. By doing that, you see what we received. The first 5 columns, rows. The first row 1999, and it's the cause is accident and intentional injuries, and it was on Alabama. And the people who, this is huge number. Yeah, it's not one accident. This is total of those accidents happen at that time. And age adjusted, that's the average age or something like that. So there are 5 rows here, they are the first 5 rows. If I want to know the last 5 rows, what should I say? We said head. Now what we say? Tail. Tail will give us the last 5 rows, and these are the last 5 rows of the data. And you can see the last date is 2015. So the data we have is for 1999 to 2015. Okay, and that's it. Now looking at the data, and we just want to find out what are the major cause of accidents. There's so many different cause of accidents here, but what they are, yeah, I want to find the unique values of that cause of accident. And you can see here there's something called cause name. Yeah, let's try to find what are the unique values in cause name. Again, what does it mean, unique values? Unique values means a cause, for example, car accident. Car accident repeated in this record may be 10,000, because that's the major one maybe. But it is one unique record represent those 10,000. So how we do that? Again, our data stored in data. Now if you want to get any column, specific column in your data, you need this square bracket and quotation, and then you take the name of the column and you put it here. Okay, this will give you only that column. If we run it now, this will give us 15,000 times that cause. This is the cause of the injury. Okay, now, and if you continue, it continues until the end. Now it's not going to show us all the data. It gives us 30 at the beginning and then 30 at the end, and stopped because it's too large data. You cannot display it on the screen, but you can store it in a file or do anything. Now this line just gave us one column of that data. Okay, if I want to know the unique values, I just add dot unique, okay, open bracket, close bracket, and this will give me only the unique values. See, the unique values are not that much. The number of cause of accident are these are cause intentional injuries, all causes. This one you didn't know, and what is it? The only thing is Alzheimer disease, and people kill themselves, which is really bad. Stroke and other diabetes and other things, yeah, but they are limited. Yeah, do you want to know how many of them? You can use len at the beginning, bracket at the end. Now you get how many of this here. There are only 17 unique causes of death. Yeah, these are the unique one. But if you want to know who they are, you don't need len, you need the structure, which basically you need your data. The variable here, we called it data. When we read our data, we did call it data. And then square bracket, and we selected only one column to show, which the cause of a cause name. And then added the function unique. So this gave me just the unique values of those causes of death. There's an issue with the connection on Pandas. Which network I'm using? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, I think it's back. Hopefully connecting to something I don't know why it's taking more time to connect. Anyway, let's save this one. Now when you get a problem like this connection, you can save the file, close the tab, and go back to your file here. This happens once, maybe once a while. Yeah, I haven't seen it for a long time, but that could be the cause. Now we back to our file. We just close it, opened it again, and everything is working back. Now this is good. I'll show you something now. If you will face a problem now. You assume now everything is fine. So you came here after this and you said data dot head, okay, and you run this one, okay. So it's working fine because it was hanged, okay. Anyway, usually when you get file open, because this is recovering from an error, you have this is working, but usually when you open a file you need to run the cells. So it's better you go here and say run all, so you make sure all those cells are executed and they are stored in the memory, so you didn't get any problem. Yeah, okay, so we know those are the unique values for our data. Now these unique values, you can see a word here called array. Array basically, I think 99 of you would know what is array, but array is a list of data, list of records. So this is a list, and the list has elements. This is the first element in the list. This is the second element in the list. This is the third element in the list, and so on. Yeah. So each one of this is an element of that array. Okay, let's store this data in a variable called causes. Now we have something called causes, okay, and it stores this data. When you store anything in a data, it will not display it. Yeah, to display it, you need to come here and say causes on its own. Then it will display. Basically here what it did, it just took the data and stored the data in a variable called causes and kept it there. Yeah. Now we came here, I asked for it, say display it. I can do it different way. One is I can say print, if you like using print. Yeah. Or you just write it. Yeah. You do print, you get the same thing. Good. So now we know those causes. Let's do something. Let's group all this data we have by the cause name and see how this will come. Okay, so we'll group them together. Means each those 17, each one of those 17, this one for example, all will be grouped together. All the records in related to this one will be grouped together. But let me do one thing before I do that. If I want to know how many record I have has this value in it, yeah, or any value like cancer, how many cases I have had cancer in it, yeah. So how I can do that? Let me do this before I do anything else. So I go back. This is the way to do it. You have your data and you need a condition here, condition. So you need to select data that has the cause name cancer, yeah. So your condition will be what? You need a condition. What will be your condition? In Pandas, to create a condition, you do it this way. You say data, open bracket, then the column that you're looking for. The column that we're looking for is cause name. Notice that I copy and paste the column name. Why? Because it's important to write it exactly as it is. If I put n lowercase, I'll have a problem. If there is a space after this, I have to use space. So I'm just copying it. So this is the column that we're looking for, yeah? We're looking for the column cause name, and we need only data that has the cause is cancer, yeah? Cancer. So we're looking only for this one. So this is our condition. Sorry, I don't know why this one is jumping here. Okay, good. So this is where we are. So this is our column that we're looking for. I know there may be some questions and I'll look at them. That's the column we're looking at for, and this is the value in that column that we want to have. And you notice here we have equal. This is important. If you do only one equal, is wrong. So this is my condition. If I just run this condition as it is, I will get false, and only when the cause is cancer, it will come true, and it's somewhere in the middle between 29 somewhere. So it's giving me false or true or false. Why it's doing that? Because this is a condition. The answer to this condition, basically this, you can read it. Is the cause name cancer? Is the cause name cancer? The answer, if it's true, will be true. If it is false, will be false. Now, how I can get the data that has only that condition? So this condition, I need to put it between two brackets like that. So that's, and I use the data here. I know this is maybe a little bit tricky, but I'll explain it. Now, if you look at the records we received record that has only cancer in it. So we have a new data set that is extract from the original data set, and it has only values that are only cancer. Okay? And how many records are there? There are 884 cases of records of caused by cancer, and the number of death is, we will add it later and find what's the total of that. This is the column that has the number of death area, deaths. This is huge number of people died because of cancer. Okay, let's go back to this one. Now first we need my condition. Let's go. My condition, I will look at the YouTube before someone become angry of me. Thank you, sir, for your hard work. Your video really helped us. Thank you very much. In exams, like arrays in C++ and Java, we know it for object-oriented. Correct, yeah. Do we need to memorize all the command? No, we will give you the command sheet in the exam. You don't need to memorize. It's not a memory. We need your ability to use the command to produce the solution. So we'll give you a sheet has all the command, and you can find them on the web. For me, sometimes when I look at something new, a new version of something, I'll go to the web, I find the command. But how I can use that command, that's what is important. So we're not really worried about, you don't need to memorize the command, but you need to know how to use it, the logic behind it. That's something you need to understand. Okay, so I think I answered the questions. Let me go back to explain this one. Okay, now let's do it using something else. Let's keep this one as it is, and we will do another example so we can have more examples. Let's go down here and create a new cell, and let's now search for year 2015 only. Yeah, year 2015 only. How I can do that? First, I build my condition. Yeah, my condition is data, and then I'm looking for year. Yeah, simple. Yeah, equal 2015. That's it. Now I need to put a bracket here, and put my data here. That's how it is. Then I have the record that shows only year 2015. So that's how simple it is to do those conditions. Now, if you have two conditions, how you deal with it now? I want to look at 2015, and I want to look at cancer. Cause name is cancer. So I have two conditions here, not one. Let's do that. Well, basically it's the same, yeah? We need just here and add the other condition, which what? data, yeah, cause name equal cancer. Okay, now this will not work. Yeah, sorry, I wrote it, but it's not going to work. I did it just on purpose to show you that it will not work, but I think I did something wrong. I should not do it here. Leave this cell as it is and we create a new cell, because later you can go back to all this. Let's create a new cell. So now we'll have two conditions, as we said. The condition, the first one is data year equal 2015, and the other condition and data cause name equal cancer. Now again, this will not work, but I'll explain why it will not work. But I need you to notice few things. One, this one does not have a quotation because it's not text. Yeah, it's a number. Yeah, cancer has a quotation. Okay, now it's not going to work for one reason, which we did last time. Those who did watch last time video, they know why. One is you need a bracket here and bracket here. Each condition, when you have more than one condition, each condition should be put between brackets. Without the brackets, it will not work. And the other thing, you need this big bracket here, big bracket here, and again back your data frame. And this now will give us only 2015 when the cause name is cancer. And you can see this is only, so that's the way you filter your data in Pandas. I think it's very simple, easy, but with practice it becomes easy. Without practice it's not going to be easy, and hope you will practice. Okay, so now we filter the data using two conditions, and remember this bracket here is not the same as the square bracket. It's just a normal bracket. Here when we went with only one condition, we didn't use that bracket, but if you add it, it will work. It's not an issue. Yeah, it's optional. When you have only one condition, it's optional, but when you have two conditions, it's not optional, it's a must. You need to have that bracket. So now we looked at 2015 and the causes cancers. Okay, very good. Let's do now the grouping, the one we said we will group things. Where I am, I should look at sorry, I'm just running up and down. Let me go here and create a new one here. Sorry, I'll go here and create one. Sorry, I need one at the end. Okay, now I want to group the data using the cause name. Okay, it will create an interesting report for us. So let's say our data is data. I did call it data. I want to group it, so I use group by. It seems there is a question on somewhere. Maybe that's question. Some questions keep coming, but I don't know where they're coming. This beep, I don't know where it's coming from. Okay, back here. Group by what? We want to group it by the cause name. Okay, and we will do sum. Let's look at this, how it will come. See now, this is interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. We had a report now came here, has only 17 records. Why? Because you have 17 unique causes. First one is called all causes, and this is the total number of people who died because of that all causes. Yeah, and the other one is Alzheimer disease, and these are the people who died because of that disease. and these are the other things all coming here in the list. So this one grouped it together. What it did, let me show you here. I'll go just up here to the beginning, sorry, here. So what it did, it looked at the cause and added all these numbers here and put them on one record for that cause name. So this just added everything for us and gave me very short summary of my data. And here is it. So I have few things here. One thing you maybe noticed, this cause name now came on the right, on the left, and it's not on the same level as these three. These three are a little bit higher than this one, because cause name is now consider what? Consider the index. The index is basically the label of each row. If you go back to the top and look at this one, index here was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and continued like that. This is the default index of any data frame. When you read it as it is, the index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 until the end of the record. Usually, it's not usually, it is the last number is the number of records you have plus 1, because you start by 0. So it goes this way. But when you create a group, it uses the group you created, the column you created, as the index for that group, and put it aside, so the others are all following the same thing. Now I can group using more than one column. Let's do this. Want to group by the cause and want to group by the year. Now you notice one thing it did stupid. Years added the years together, 2015 plus 2016 added. Should not add this. We don't want year to be added, yeah, but it just did add it. So what we want to do, we want to group now by the year, by the cause and the year. Let's see what will come now. If I come down here and add a new one, I do group by. How I can do this? Shabab, how I can do this? Can I just add here comma and say year? If I do that, I'll get an error. Okay, I'll just do it to see the error. I like those errors, because with the mistakes, the error we will learn. You will get this long error which will confuse you. No access named year for object type, blah blah blah, and so many lines inside, and very complicated. But it's not complicated. Basically, when you deal with more than one column, this is a golden statement. When you deal with more than one column, you need to have a square bracket beginning and the end. This square bracket tells the pandas you have a list of columns, and this is why you need a square bracket. Otherwise it will get confused. So if we do this, we will get another interesting table now. See, for all causes, because the cause is the one controlling thing, all causes from 1999 it goes until 2015 grouped together, yeah, and now the total death of that cause in that year. So you can look at now a trend. Is it really going up or going down? You look at the, for example, the so many of it there. Okay, we can, I don't see the cancers because it's in the middle, but we can do that. Now if you change this one, make this here year, and say cause name, you will get the year first, and then for that year you will find the total death of that year. Yeah, and this is something that you will get. Now if you want to filter this data, yeah, you want to look at only say Alzheimer okay, let's just do one thing, because I want to draw a chart for you, show you how we can draw now a chart that shows the years, and for that year the causes. Let's just do the year here. Let's do this now. Now when you have only one column, you can have square bracket, or you ignore it, you remove it, same thing. But if you have it, it's better. So you just do this way. Every time you deal with the column, just do square bracket. Okay, so this is now the year. Yeah, I'm getting the number of death. I just want to look at the total death of that year. Yeah, these are the years, and let me do a graph of that. See how many people died each year. Is that going up or going down? And then we can look at each category. For cancer, for example, is it going up or going down, or things like, yeah. So let's call this data a new name. The year, for example, equal data of by year equal. Okay, and now let's come and do a draw here. Draw it, yeah. The year, and then you can use something called the year called and let's draw only the which column we want to draw. We want to draw only the death, yeah, total death. Yeah, we didn't display it. Let me do one thing. Let's display it first on the screen here. Say head. Let's do only the head so we can see what we're dealing with. And then this is only the head, yeah. And then let's come here and say the year. Okay, and now we will go only for what deaths, and we want to draw it, yeah. So this is basically our column, yeah. This is our column. Now if you want to draw it, I just say plot, yeah, and plot will do the drawing for me. It will just take some time to go through that and draw it for me, yeah. Still trying to do. First time you load it, it takes time because it imports a library called matplotlib, and then it will draw the file. So now we do that. You can see with the year it's going up. Oh my god, it's going exponential up. So the number of death is going up because of, I don't know. Now if I want to plot, this is just a normal plot. Okay, let's go down here and do a bar plot, yeah. Bar, you know the bar, yeah. That's just bar. What I did, you see the normal plot is like this. If I want to have a bar chart, I do this, yeah, and then run it. Now I get a bar chart, and the bar chart show it's going up again. Okay, but the here the line is better, yeah. It just shows how it's really happening, and it's going up. See, the difference is not huge, but on the, what is the difference? It's huge. That's huge. Oh my god. Okay, so we did a plot. Now let's say I want to add a title to this chart, to the plot, yeah. I want to add a title, so I can add here something called title equal, and say deaths per year. Okay, if you do that, then you will see you will have a title came there saying death per year. Okay, See, those 8.88, they are multiplied by 10 to the power 7. Yeah. So that's really a huge number. It's not small number. Okay, so we did that in total. Now, if I want to know only for the cancers cases that are cancer related cases, yeah, I can do that the following. Let me do it 2 steps. One, let me filter all my data by those cases are cancers. Yeah, so cause name equal cancer. Okay, so these are the data that are cause equal only cancer, and I can say I give it a variable. That's the variable. Okay, so it's now stored in a variable called d cancer. Okay, now I can group it by. So the next step, what I'll do, I'll group it by year. So I'll say d cancer dot group by and say year and add sum. Okay, so this one now, these are only cancer cases and grouped by years. Now if I want to draw it, let's say call it DC only equal. So you notice one thing, after I did call this one DC equal, I did run that cell. If I do not run the cell and go later and call it, I'll have an error. So DC dot now we're looking at what in that record. Let's see what in DC. DC dot head first. Always good to run head because it gives you an idea of what you're looking at. At least you have the column name. So I'll say here DC dot plot DC deaths dot plot. Okay, and now this is plotting only for me cancer cases, and it's going up again. It's going up. Oh, this one is 1 2 3 4 5 6 1.1 million, from 1.1 to 1.18 cases. So that's going up by 80,000 something like 800,000, 80,000, yeah. So that's the way it's now I draw only cancer. So I can say here title equal deaths of cancer. Okay, and now this is the chart showing me the date. So these are the things we were working with. Basically what we started with, we opened the file. So we did read the file, and we read the file using Pandas. So we imported Pandas, then we used data equal PD read CSV, which a big file, and the file name is this. Then we looked at the shape. There are 15,000 record in that file. We looked at the head, which are the first 5 rows of our data. Then we looked at the tail, the last 5 rows, so you get an idea of the beginning and the end. We looked at the unique causes of death, so we created a new variable causes call, and we went into the column cause name, and we looked at unique values, came 17 of them here. Then we did a filter here. We looked at only cases that was because of cancer. So we did this one, gave us only those cases because of cancers. And we could have looked at the length by saying len of this, and we can see how many cases. I think we did that, and that's the number of cases. Here we looked at another way to filter it. We looked at per year, so 2015 only, so we used equal, and then we looked at two variables. I want to delete this one and this empty too, I don't need. Okay, so we had two conditions. One condition per year, 2015, and the other condition is the cause is cancer. We used and if you want both conditions to be true, otherwise you can use or, which looks like this. Yeah, but we need and in this case. So this gave us 2015, and only causes are cancers. Then we looked at the group, and we grouped it by the cause name, and we got this 17 records because there are 17 causes. And we had also, because we used some added for us all the numerical data, including the year, which we don't want to do that. Then we came here and we did group by year, and we stored it in something called D year, and looked at the head of per year, and that's it. And then we plotted years by the column. We focused on the column deaths, and then it did plot for us this diagram. By the way, if we didn't select a column, it will draw all numerical columns. Any column that has a number, it will draw it, and then it will look at it then. And here what we want to do, we looked at the cancers, only causes because of cancers. I did it somewhere here. This one I have it in the wrong place. Yeah, let me just take this one from here. Sorry, I'll add it here on top of this one. It was okay, it was working fine, there's no error in the sequence, but it's better these two comes together, because now you will understand it better. And then we looked at the head, as we do always. Then we plotted the number of deaths because of cancers, and we gave it a title, and came this chart. Now if I take everything, let me show you. I want to plot everything in DC. So DC dot plot, and I do just like this. Now as I said, anything that is a number, it will draw, and it will draw age adjusted, which not really related. So this is not the right thing. You need to select the right column that you want like to plot. So that's what basically it is. I think we covered a good case study with no proper planning. Before just you leave, I will show you how you can organize your Jupyter notebook, and things you can do to organize your Jupyter notebook are here. Okay, let me do that. There are no questions there. So let me add one cell on top of this one. So I go insert, above, and here I can choose. This is a code, yeah. If I choose header, it will get me something like this. So if I write here, when it's load, read CSV file. See, now I have like a header there. Now if I add another cell here, and I want to write some text, I can go here and select hyper down, markdown, sorry, markdown. I say the following lines will import pandas and read the CSV file. See, and this comes like a text like this one. The good thing, those of you who know HTML, I can add HTML here. I can make this one bold. This is not part of the course, but anyway, if you want to do something, see now CSV became bold. Yeah, I want to make import pandas italic. I can come here and put I. So this completely HTML. You can do anything you want to do with this one, and you can organize your code and make it beautiful. You can link to a file or an image from somewhere else. You do everything you want to make your code looks beautiful. So that's one thing, and anytime you want to add any new headers, you will do that. So I'll try to organize this file and add some of this text later, and when the video is ready, I'll upload it to the video. I hope you find this video useful. I hope that those who need really to see the video, they will see the video, because sometimes they do not really do that, and they are the one who just need to give it a start. There are few of our student facing challenges, but those people, if they just do once a full code like this code and practice it and repeat it and repeat it, they will find it's not really complicated, and Pandas simplifying things for us. So thank you for listening, and I wish you a good night. Thanks.